and then I will be back, and I will, like you said, these moments that the lows bring the highs as high as your lowest low goes.
And it makes it taste even sweeter.
So much.
Right?
And we're all human, and we've all been in lows. But the lower you go, I feel like the higher the high will be at some point. Yeah. And I just know that from experience. But right now, I'm stuck at a cliff.
I know.
So I'm waiting to figure out, am I rock climbing this shit? Am I gonna have a ladder? Am I parachuting?
Well, you look like
whatever
Indiana Jones
it is.
With that. I mean, you're ready to go.
The adventure man.
You're gonna kill it, Madison.
Yes, we got plans, and inspiration and is
You're an inspiration though to a lot of people. I know that, and your heart and your soul. You're such a good human. That I just know, like 6 months from now, when we have you back on, you're gonna tell us.
I can't wait for that. I
know, we
can't
can
wait
see
to
it
be
for
on the
you.
other side. Yes, but I'll find out in 2 weeks if this CAT scan tells me the bone's healed, and if that's the case, the pins come out, and my life will start to turn around.
You know what's interesting is like you were able to afford the best medical care.
Yeah.
Right? Because you built a life to afford that.
1,000.
And for people listening in, I can listen to some of the victims listening in right now. They're like, oh, well, that's nice for you. You're going to be able to get out of that valley because you have money. Right. And
but this is my second surgery with the top doctors, and the first one did not work.
Yeah.
So you can pay for what you get, and you still have to take care of your body.
Right.
And I probably did not slow down the first go around.
When they told you to.
And when they told me to, and I was active in doing it because the pain pills and this, and you feel like you can numb it and you can get through, and I've got shit to do.
Yeah.
And listening to the doctor wasn't something that he didn't press it upon me, but
now you are.
Now I understand.
I get the lesson.
I succumbed, doctor.
So, you know what's interesting about you is that it's just like, even though you're in this valley, I can still, like, in your eyes, you can still see a good soul, and like you're positive. Like, know, even though you might not be able to see it.
Yes.
Were you like that as a kid?
I was very much like that as a kid. I was a salesman from when I could talk. I had a wagon, and I would be doing lemonade and car wash and recycling.
Why?
I had all the neighborhood kids following me. The drive was, I like to make money.
See, that's why we like it.
Yes.
I know. I'm the same way. I'm like, don't be in denial about it. I like
that. He loves to make money, and he has all this money, and
I like people, and I like, and so that just never died, and sales was my thing. And
what did your parents do to like help cultivate that?
That's an interesting question, because I grew up in a corporate world. My dad, we moved around. He was executive, so many states, five states, 7 cities, 3 countries. So been around all before college. I've been in LA 19 years, and but with the Pepperdine, and advertising was my passion, but it was people and the messages behind those advertising messages. But real estate was always a passion as a kid. I used to love walking through the houses in the neighborhood when they were under construction. But at my age, getting into real estate, when the show was just starting, I was already 6 months doing real estate. I was the youngest person in my office.
So you were like new, and then you're in the public eye.
6 months into the business, I started the show. I was faking it until I made it, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Is that what they kind of wanted? Did they want? I mean, what was the storyline? Did they want to see you fail?
They had 12 agents, 6 in Hollywood, 6 in Malibu. So it was a totally different format.
Oh wow.
So I was in 2 segments, and that was it. And then they revamped the show, and it's 3 of us. But it was, I didn't know I was going to come back for a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth up to 10 seasons later. It's like, that's a decade of my life.
So
on
are you
TV.
a fan favorite too?
I know.
Well, I did retire, you know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Which
So you don't think you're going to do it again?
I mean, first of all, given the last 2 years and what I've been dealing with my health, it was the best thing I could have done. But I got a lot out of it, and I'm so happy to be done with it.
Was it like the best thing you did, but maybe one of the hardest things you did?
I can understand that.
Yes, it is. It's challenging. It's a mind game, and it gets progressively worse the longer you're in it with the producers and the other characters.
Because I watched a show, because when we found out you were coming on, I watched something, And it was like, I remember you
God,
and Josh
what
Flagg
season?
got in a huge, I don't remember. It was like you and Josh Flagg got in a huge fight. And you're just like, I mean, he was just like going at you. Like he had it out for you.
Yeah.
And how do you stay so just like, if you're watching and you're just like, okay. Like you just don't react really.
Yeah, you know, because they want a reaction out of me,
Right.
and they want me to throw a
You
chair
were
or
so
punch
classy.
a wall.
You were always so
and
classy.
In the back of my head, the company president who said, you know, go and do the show when everybody else couldn't do the show with our company. She said, we trust you. And then my mom is in the back of my head. So I had those
Mama's watching
those
this.
two women were in the back of my head, and it was like,
Like a muzzle on you.
yes,
Mama's
and I
boy.
was just like, I'm gonna handle this the best way I can because I'm a Golden Glove champion boxer and a state champion wrestler.
Are you serious?
So I can
Okay, so
whoop
you're
some
You're like,
ass.
I can throw down right
So
now.
yeah, if it wanted to get to that
Please.
level, I was, you know, I'm not just a scrap
That's what's
fighter. I'm
going
a
on
pro
here?
fighter. No, I didn't punch him. I should have.
Look out.
Right off through the cameras, it was. That's why I broke it. No, just
Oh.
kidding.
So you just had a good, it sounds like a good role model. And if that's what,
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. A lot of people don't have that. But
No,
you're a role model
right.
for a lot of
and
people.
that's and it's hard to be a role model, and it's and especially when you're down, you know,
Right.
because I feel the responsibility.
You feel like
of
you're almost like
keeping
letting people down.
And especially
when
when
you
you
don't
get
show
more
up.
attention, you get more attention for being a jerk on some of those shows than you do being
Yeah.
a positive person.
Yeah, and
that's
now
a
what I've
pull, too.
realized is I'm connecting more with people as I'm more vulnerable with my story than giving this glossy facade of how perfect my life is when that's just BS for anybody. And so I just feel like some of the stuff I put on lately, which I've been so not really involved in social media, but it's my way of still communicating with my fans.
Yeah. Where can
And
people find you?
At Madison Malibu.
Okay, and that's where you're hanging out most often.
Yes, that's kind of in bed where I am.
While you're in bed, we usually leave our viewers with a call to action, something you can do
Yes.
every day. And I know that you're laid up and you're not yourself. But what is one thing that you do every day that we could maybe like impart on our viewers to do to upgrade their life from whatever stage they're in,
You
the
know,
valley to the highest point?
That's an easy, I mean, it can be, for me right now, literally it's the most basic thing. And it's waking up in my little morning routine and making a hot lemon juice glass
Oh
of,
yes, I've
of
heard
tea.
that that's so good. Make your body alkaline.
Before my coffee, before anything, just do that and then go back to bed and drink that and spend 2 minutes laying there in meditation and just preparing my thoughts for the day. And the night before, I set those same thoughts up. And then in the morning, I say, okay, that's what I thought about last night. And today, hopefully, I execute that. So it's kind of like you
Set the
dream,
intention.
you dream through it.
Yep.
Hopefully, your subconscious is working
Yeah.
it.
That's so
So I do
true.
it in the night, and then I try and repeat it in the morning.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I have loved having you on.
Thank you, ladies.
And I think we need to do the lemon water because I'm not doing that yet.
I do it.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I
hello.
put
Yes.
some apple cider vinegar in it
That
too.
yeah, that's great.
Okay.
It's a town.
4:30 a.m. We're gonna start like
Okay.
cheersing to each other.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
With
don't
Madison,
call me at
Madison.
4:30.
We won't wait till 8. But as soon as you're back to recovery, we're
Yes.
calling you at 5 a.m.
All right,
Okay?
deal.
So if you guys love this episode, make sure to share it out there on all your social media channels, and you can binge watch all of our episodes on upgradeyourlifetv.com, and you can binge watch all the other shows on the EverTalk app if you download it on Apple TV or
Roku.
Yeah. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Yeah.
All
Yay!
right.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
You were
Let's
awesome.
do
I
a
know that was
photo.
hard.
Now we gotta do a follow-up segment with you.
Do you want to do a photo in this
Wherever
one?
you want.
Yeah. Let's